New representatives like AOC and Ilhan Omar have found themselves just increasingly and brazenly attacked by the right. To me, obvious incitement to violence in some of these cases. And there are any number of different examples of this that we could provide. Ilhan Omar is currently experiencing, I think it was the New York Post that had a pretty inflammatory front page about her. But I wanna talk a little bit about how much it's trickled down to different areas of the right. So Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez was targeted by the Ohio College Republicans. Dave Leventhal, who's on the show, he's been on many times, tweeted in a fundraising email today, the Ohio College Republicans describe AOC as a quote, domestic terrorist, a term often reserved for the likes of Timothy McVeigh and people who kill children in their school classrooms. So here's a look at the headline of an email they sent out to their membership. AOC is a domestic terrorist. So it's pretty clear. They didn't really like finesse it at all.
Everything about this is absolutely traumatic if you keep it up. Like AOC is a domestic terrorist. That's horrifying to call her that. But any email from the college Republicans to me is the worst day of my life.
Yeah, exactly. Nobody wants that. I don't think most of the college Republicans want that. Yeah, and like how much controversy was there when Stephen Miller was labeled a white nationalist? Oh yeah. God, can you really say that? Oh, come on, can you really say that? AOC is a domestic terrorist. Yes, she is the same as anyone who has blown up a federal building or shot up a bunch of people. She's a domestic terrorist. And by the way, if it is possible for it to be worse than them just labeling this new representative a domestic terrorist, they did it to make money. Here's the rest of the email. Donating to the college Republicans is the most effective way to directly impact the future of America. My peers are being brainwashed on a daily basis by Marxist professors who hate America and capitalism. My fellow students often tell me that Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is a role model and that America should be more like socialist Europe. I think that's and they want money, obviously, lots of it. They want 500,000, whatever. That's a conversation that happens at college. I want America to be more like socialist Europe. That's what I say. But anyway.
I just love the 2-hour hate that is any college class where they're like, before we get to calculus, I hate capitalism. It's terrible. Read Karl Marx now.
Yeah, that's not
how it is. And also your argument is the smarter people get, the more they like something. Well, that should be a message to you.
Yeah. No, but the thing is that you don't get educated here, you just get indoctrinated. I mean, it begs the question what the conservatives are doing in the class.
Also, one of the, Romney's dad, who was the, on track to, however close, to become the nominee for the Republican Party back in the day, he got disqualified essentially because he said he was brainwashed. And the idea that you're susceptible to brainwashing whatsoever, like, you sound pretty weak to me. Why don't you be stronger?
Exactly. So again, AOC is the one that they're targeting in this particular case, although this sort of thing has become increasingly common. And she tweeted about it. This puts me in danger every time. Almost every time this uncalled for rhetoric gets blasted by conservative groups, we get a spike in death threats to refer to Capitol Police. Multiple people have been arrested trying to harm me, Ilhan, and others. At GOP, what's it going to take to stop? In response to this, college Republicans have said, that was totally, that was our mistake and our bad, and we're sorry for that. We didn't send that, it was sent in our name, but it's like totally not okay, it shouldn't have happened. I guess the thing is, that email, they've sent many times, the subject changes. So they just put a different subject, the email's the same, and in the past multiple times, it's been signed by the chairman of the college Republicans there.
I was dead at the time.
Yeah. So look, they think that they can make money by scaring people about the prospect of a sitting congresswoman being a domestic terrorist. And that is why Fox News, more and more brazen, I think was it the Five? Was it Greg Gutfeld? It might have been Kilmeade, I get them mixed up a lot. Was again implying that Ilhan Omar, I think it was yesterday, that her loyalty is not to America. So again, I guess dual loyalty. We don't know exactly to where, but somewhere else, it's totally okay to smear her with that.
It was Kilmeade, because Ilhan Omar was saying, listen, don't vilify all Islamic people or all Muslim people because some people did a thing.
Yeah.
And she was not belittling it, but was taken to have belittled it because she was speaking like off the cuff. And they seize on that and Kilmeade ask, is she even an American first? And what other, just go through her history of saying that people who carry out acts of actual terrorism should be hunted down, blah, blah, blah. But it's very frustrating to see this. And the other thing that I think we should bring up is it is so difficult to get actual domestic terrorists to be labeled domestic terrorists.
Yes.
The fact that
certain types anyway.
Well, it's if you go through, we did this thing I think on Main Show where it was like You go through all of the acts and threats of actual domestic terrorism and what they are labeled in the actual indictments. And people who should, by all accounts, be labeled domestic terrorists are never labeled as such, even though you're trying so hard to say these are radical Islamic terrorists, call it for what it is. But when it comes to domestic terrorism, the only way you can get someone to be labeled that, apparently, is for them to advocate for positive change for most of America.
Exactly, yeah.
Stop
Sorry,
coughing.
I don't
Stop
remember
coughing.
I know, I'm really.
What did you have?
I'm a little.
Essence of Nightshade?
No. Anyway,
Slow goodbye?
I'm gonna keep talking. So I forget exactly what the study was, but it did imply that depending on whether the suspected domestic terrorist, so the person should they be labeled domestic terrorist, if they're white or not, it takes like it's 7 times rarer that they'll get labeled it or something. Anyway, do a little bit of Google foo and you'll find it. But yeah, that's depressing. College Republicans think that they can make money off of this. Fox News thinks that they can generate ratings for this. I mean, I'm sure if it works for the college Republicans, when we get into the thick of the next round of congressional elections, are Republican congressmen not going to be demonizing her and possibly inciting violence to make a little bit of money? I find that a little bit hard to believe. Thank you very much for watching this clip from The Damage Report. If you liked it, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and ring the bell on YouTube to get notifications of our new videos. And of course, you can catch the full Damage Report live every weekday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific on TYT Network on YouTube TV.